Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, with my co-host, Corbin, and today we have an Ethereum-based project soon to migrate to Hedera, the Deviants, powered by Astronova, with their founder, DG. How you doing today, man?
All good, mate. How's it going on your end?
Doing very well, doing very well.
Very
Happy
good.
to have you here. We've heard many exciting things about your project, and it seems to be that in one day from now, you'll be giving away a free mint on Ethereum.
Right, absolutely.
That's exciting.
Very
Very
cool.
exciting things. So, but I'm mainly more focused on your migration to Hedera because, I mean, our podcast, the Alt Kings, we typically sway away from Ethereum-based projects, but you raise an eyebrow to me. I can't lie. Whenever I saw that it said Ethereum and Hedera, I was just like, wow, this is honestly one of the first of its kind. We've seen some other projects kind of try to migrate from Ethereum to Hedera, but it's not been at the scale from what it seems that you guys have. You guys have over 120,000 followers on Twitter. And when I saw that amount and I saw the engagement that you're receiving on these tweets that you post out, it was quite astonishing. And so I'm curious, one, what was the main reason behind the migration to Hedera after this free mint? And two, what about Hedera really interested you the most?
Right. So a little bit about our journey to our migration and stuff. The start back in 2020, mid of 2020, 2022. We were a project we started in 2020 with around 5 to 10 initial teammates. Right now, we have a team strength of around 75 teammates, and we are a global team. We have teammates almost in every country, and we've been working on this project as like to build a Web3 gaming legacy, and Astronova being a meta RPG game, which is an MMORPG. We call it a true MMORPG. So we had to make a choice of a good network, a blockchain solution, which actually can solve many of the problems that, doesn't have the problems which many other chains have, whether it be stability, scalability, the gas, whatever. And towards the mid of last year, we were fortunate enough to through one of our dev as well as one of our advisor, they gave us basically an insight into what Hedera has been up to. At that time, Hedera was mainly focused on this enterprise grade solutions, as we all are aware of. But they were taking a step into GameFi, and I would say we were lucky as well because the moment they started taking their step into GameFi, our advisor advised. I mean, he told us like, you guys should give this a shot, and this is a really good thing. A good network to actually build out on. When we researched, it was kind of like a no-brainer, and that's kind of how this entire project pivoted. And ever since then, we've been getting a lot of support from the Hedera Foundation, HBAR Foundation, even the Hashgraph Association. So they gave us one of the largest grants. They also gave us we are pre-approved for their upcoming cohort from the Hashgraph Association, their acceleration program, where they help assist in the fundraising and stuff. So, in multiple ways, Hedera was a really amazing choice for us, and even apart from that, like we really like the community. What's on going on here, like even for this upcoming. So we have this Deviants NFT which is coming up, and so this goes out in phases through these mint passes, and this first collection is on ETH, which later has an evolved Deviants version, which is on Hedera. And when we were actually building out our community, we noticed that the 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 group and the vibe here was very welcoming, and at the same time, they had a very tight knit group of it's kind of like a tight knit group of friends here. So they only have 3,000 to 5,000 guys on buying and selling NFTs. But the point is, everyone knew each other, and like for gamer, I mean, when we're building a gaming project and stuff, that matters a lot because these kind of guys are like diamond hands, and this is exactly what a game like Astronova needs, because for the initial set of community, having OG diamond-headed communities is exactly what we need. Obviously, the Web2 adoption and stuff comes later, but you have to start from somewhere, and the square one is basically it should be it's the NFT community, and if it's our own chain, that's the best. So that's my personal point of view. I do like ETH though. I know it's just there's too many flippers and mad degens over there, but I do love them. Everything has their plus and minus. So um, that being said, yeah, like that's basically our journey from ETH to Hedera, and so far it's been wonderful. And we look forward to. We have been trying. We have been talks with most of the projects on Hedera, so we look forward to collabing with each of them one way or another.
Nice. Yeah, I saw you
That's awesome.
guys did a partnership with Hedarian Dragons, and that was they're
Right.
very very well known in this space.
Yeah, they've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. We got into we did collabs with Creamies, Koala Hash Club, and a few other names. I think it was Loco Lizards and Royal Clubbers, and even Patches was a good friend. Like he's a nice pal. I think he's
Yeah,
from
Yeah.
Hatchcraft Pump, right?
Love Patches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, HRF.
Yeah, these are all very well known names that we have also hosted on the podcast.
Nice. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
honored to be here.
So it's 10,000 animated and VFX enabled in-game NFTs dropping tomorrow for completely free.
No.
No? Okay.
No and a yes. So 10,000 animated VFX enabled NFTs, correct? But those NFTs, they are dropping on March 15th, not now.
Gotcha.
So what's dropping tomorrow is basically the Silver Mint Pass, which enables you to free claim your Deviant on the launch day. It's like tickets to the movie. So this gives you like guaranteed allocation and claiming ability, so that you can claim on the launch day without any kind of rush and stuff. You know it for sure. You
Yeah.
have it.
Definitely. Yeah.
It's like a wireless pass.
Yep,
essentially.
whitelist pass without no over allocation. People are complaining about over allocation for tomorrow, so
That's fair. Do you really quickly you want to run us through the different types of passes? I know that the silver one is going to obviously be the premier one because it's minting tomorrow, but you also have diamond and gold as well. So if you could maybe touch on those features as well that are
sure.
available on OpenSea.
Sure. So even though they were initially designed as passes to claim the Deviant, this was done in different tiers. So it starts with diamond, then there's gold, then there's silver. So the diamond pass is for the early community. This is like the first community who was grinding, learning more about the project, doing riddles, and those all sorts of stuff. They know the thing inside out. They stick with us through everything. And then the second, so this group basically gets access to certain privileges, like there's an exclusive Discord channel for them. They get early access to lore creatives. They get to vote on certain utilities, when it should come out, and even have some say in some lore aspects where they can actually integrate some stuff. So same goes for the gold. These guys actually paid money, a certain amount. So not everything was free. So that's
Gotcha.
a different here. So the gold was it was paid. These are people, OG backers. These guys paid money to get into the collection. It's 222 supply collection. And both the diamond and gold were sold out towards sometime mid of Jan. And
Okay.
these were like these guys get somewhat of a similar privilege as the diamond. They get to vote on things. They get to have some say in the lore and creatives. So there's plenty of utilities for the deviants. Like for instance, we have this animation come in. We have swag shop, merch shop. So they get to choose like what comes first, and if there's some things should be tweaked in real life merch. So that's the kind of utility we have. And the silver min pass, basically, this is like the last round of min pass we have. So they get to have early access to the lore and creatives. Going forward, we will be having the Deviants web comics. So the min pass users will be having some discount or even exclusive access for a limited period of time. So that's mainly about the passes. And many people asked whether these min passes will cease in existence after the demons are claimed. So that's not the case. They do have a reason for existence, even tied to the lore. These are like the last resources in the Astronova world, and that's how they were crafted from. And they are used for boosts in battle pass XP and stuff like that. So they do have a clear utility even after the Deviants mint, making them not a useless NFT even after its main purpose is fulfilled.
Yeah,
Not bad.
makes sense.
So the gold and the diamond have already been sent out to their purchasers?
Yeah, that's been done mid of last month, Jan.
Gotcha. Okay, nice.
Mm-hmm.
So you're finishing up the silver now. And silver, is it a 1-to-1 ratio for the silver mint passes? They get only one mint?
So diamond gets 1:1, gold gets 1:3, and silver is 1:1. Right.
Gotcha.
The first NFT is free, and the second one is 0.0035, which is basically around $5 to $6. That's it. If you consider the amount of, it's not a way for us to monetize. This is a complete community building exercise that we're doing here. These NFTs are ones which our team worked on for more than a year, and they're like 15 different species with 520 plus traits, making them even more diverse than Azuki, if you know about the number of traits Azuki has. And it's kind of like having 15 different collections bundled into one, different proportions, different heights. And these are like the team behind this. These guys made games like Assassin's Creed, GTA 5. And more than $100K spent on making these. But
I'm sure
the drive behind this is to have Astronova, the game, more reach and more exposure by having more community partake in this activity. So that way, when we're rolling out, further stuff, we do have an active crowd to actually see and hear. This is the fastest way that we believe for us to, for a project like ours, which has been building in the background for 2 years, to accelerate and get the results that we need.
That's incredible.
Sure. Yeah. What engine are you guys actually like building in?
Unreal Engine 5.
Yes.
Nice.
Unreal Engine for the win.
Yeah.
So it's going to be able to support both Ethereum holders as well as the Hedera holders.
No. Our game is pure Hedera game.
Pure Hedera. Okay, so you'll be migrating everybody who holds through Ethereum to Hedera, more or less.
No. So that's what I said. So it's kind of like this, mate. So the Deviant they're gonna have on March 15 is kind of like, let's say, Pikachu. Okay, the Deviants have more character and personalities, but let's say the Deviants on 15th are gonna be like Pikachu. The evolved ones are Raichu. The Raichu is what's gonna be there in the game. Pikachu is how they used to look in the story. So there is like a story where, these guys, they had to ingest a certain crystal, and that crystal caused an evolution process. And that's why they look in that evolved form currently. But this is like the past tense. So there is some really crazy story which is going on, and I don't want to release too much because I'm pretty sure our creative lead, Ben, our CSO, he will love to be the one who spill the beans about this.
Sure.
Sure.
So what will
Makes
the
sense.
supply be on the evolved ones?
Yeah, I'll have the same.
Okay, so it'll just be a 1-to-1 split, more or less.
It'll be like you have a OG deviant which is on ETH. There'll be a crystal, and you mint the crystal. Basically, you'll get a evolved deviant on the Hedera network.
Gotcha.
And that can be used in the game.
Yep.
Cool.
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Do you want to run us through some of the features that you guys already have kind of in the works for what the Deviants actually can do in the game and what they might be able to provide for whoever holds them?
Sure. So the deviants are actually meant to be in-game companion characters. So if you have them, it's gonna give your main game character like special perks, abilities, and also it helps you unlock certain missions which you won't be able to uncover otherwise. So basically the deviants are a way to uncover the mysteries of Astronova. We're talking about a game like World of Warcraft, a story like World of Warcraft, and a gameplay style like Elden Rings. This is the easiest way I can tell you like what sort of thing that we are building. I know that very few footages and stuff about the game is out there, mainly because the MVP we have, which we made in mid of December, it's only exclusive for the investors right now. So there would be a community-facing MVP, which will be released sometime in March. I believe it's going to be towards the end of March that we have a community-facing MVP, and most likely we'll be having our Deviants holders do the first trial run for like the initial testing, and we'll get the
the alpha
access for it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So
Very, very cool.
That is very cool. What caught my eye the quickest, kind of what I reinstated earlier, was how big your following is. And I'm just curious about how you were able to manage to get it to this size. What were some of the things that you went about marketing-wise or bringing more exposure into the Deviants and Astronova to create this big, broad audience?
So think about it this way. Usually a project has how many mints? Once, right? We're right now on the third. So it's kind of like it started with Astronova having so Astronova had its own airdrop program and stuff, which was tied into the Deviants allow list. So that started off, and that had like a ripple effect. And towards that time, we started our Deviants marketing and stuff. The Deviants, I think it had to do a lot with the meta as well. So the initial meta was a lot into pixelated stuff. So towards especially during this time, if you notice, ever since AKCB has gone live, a kit called Beast, we did notice that there's a big interest back in 3D NFTs, and that has caused a significant shift because when we actually do analysis, we can see that projects with like what do you call that feed project, pixel feed pix, feed pix. So there's projects like feed pix, and Memeland is obviously pixelated, but then it was catching fire. So that meta right now, the meta is again shifting slightly back to gaming and 3D. So that actually matters a lot, because if you have a trend going on and your project falls into that trend, it catches on fire very easy. Second thing is we had all these different partners helping us, keeping us giving us this wide exposure. BTS Labs, for instance, helped us with our marketing in the SEA region, heavily with the Asian, like people from Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines,
Sure.
very popular. And these guys are basically early investors in projects like Aave and Polygon, so very wide influence they have. And then we had then we had this mint pass. I mean, mint passes each time being pushed. So each time we do, we had a lot of collabs coming up. So the more people get to know about it. Maybe they didn't decide to mint in the diamond. Then they decided, okay, the gold might be the better. Now there are more people in the silver. So we think it's just going to keep on growing because of the fact that this is a phased mint, and each time we're doing marketing like it's day one for each
You're right.
phase. So that's the main reason why we have that huge hype, and a lot of the projects know us by now because the same guys, oh, it's them again, it's their next, it's their next min pass. So we did get quite a bit of contacts, and even in the hedera space, we've been really active recently. So the hedera family has been really. They have been joining us as well, from helping us promote. So I think it's a mixture of all these things, which caused that really huge sudden amount. Or like I think a few days back we were at 90K, and then
Yeah,
suddenly
you were at
yeah.
like around 90K a few days back.
Right, and then there was this sudden catapult that things just took off. Like a lot of these, I mean, I think we had a few advisors coming in recently. One of them was Mr. Hacks. He's basically the founder of Alpha Gang X. He's a very well established Alpha Group founder. So yeah, like multiple things coming together. We were fortunate enough to have this kind of audience, so we're really thankful for what happened. And I think it's just going to keep on going, and we wish that the meta will still stay the same, because by the time we launch it should be still into 3D and animated NFTs, hopefully.
That's exciting. I look forward to the launch.
Mm-hmm.
And you said the launch is in March, yeah?
March 15th, right?
Exciting.
Yeah,
Will
cool.
this project need to sell out for it to be successful?
Well, we're giving you for free.
Well, yeah, more specifically the passes.
Yeah.
You mean the money?
Sorry.
Money wise?
Yes.
No, we're giving for free, right? Where we're making money here.
Okay.
So it's if the day this was all decided that this was going to be like free mint and a community building exercise, that kind of changed. This is not the source of revenue for Astronova. At max, it can pay a little bit of, contract deployment or something like that. Very, very less. It's more of a way for getting this project more of the exposure that it requires. And that is what our investors and our partners are looking at. So we have to build the community for the game, and that's the kind of checklist that we are clearing out. And we do have enough runway to um, continue our project for the next 2 years. We have another grant coming from the foundation, as well as even from the association, which is promised in a couple months. So we're good to go. We have a clear runway, and we're right now just trying to get our other rounds closed so that we can start building this huge game that we are just working on. So that's what I said. So this MVP, this consumer facing MVP, will play a key role in helping us close the remaining rounds as well.
Yeah, and that's always like the initial sort of not issue, but just like challenge of what you guys are trying to do, of doing a free to play, but with battle passes and those sorts of things. And it always takes a big upfront it's basically a big upfront cost,
Mhm.
and then you make it back in the back end by doing
Right.
skins, battle passes, and all that stuff. It's a smart model.
Yeah, and not only that, it's kind of like this even like huge space, like give them freemium and then take them to premium. So
Mhm.
that's the kind of model that we're trying to look at, and we hope that it works out. And we do have some big incubators. I mean, we're in talks with some huge incubators, and we're currently undergoing that process as well, apart from Hashgraph Association. So
Nice.
Cool.
yeah.
So it's relatively all self-funded besides all the grants you're receiving from other foundations and stuff.
Yeah, we've been in the space for quite a while, mate. Like
Yeah.
to 2020, we've been like we've been just building
Mainly
stuff.
focused on Ethereum though, yeah.
No, mainly focused on building the right game and actually figuring out whether we can do it.
Sure.
So the blockchain element part wasn't much of a concern because for starters, I'm not a gamer. If I'm building, I know. So our route is more like the route which the founders of Riot Game, they did, because they're not they're not game people. They're businessmen
Yep.
like me.
Mhm.
We know how to run good businesses. We figure out what's needed. So me, I was into crypto since a very early stage, like around 2015 time, and same goes for my other partner. So around 2020, we decided that we'll start this, a blockchain game. We researched for 1 year with all our contacts, and we did a lot of R&D. We talked to the top game people, game studios out there: Blizzard, Valve, Activision. We even had like the ex-president of Riot Games actually give us guidance on how to build our MMORPG. Mr. Jin, he's the ex-president. He helped publish League of Legends. So he, like like a lot of great people, great individuals. Some of them joined us, some of them didn't, and that's kind of like the journey we had. And at present, we feel that we're in a much, like, towards 2022 was when we started, like, proper game development and stuff. And towards the end of the year, I mean, last year December, we got our MVP sorted too. So it was a gradual process, and we believe that we have what it takes to ride out this bear market if needed.
So you've been here for 2 years. You plan on moving into the next two very strong. I mean, you've taken these first 2 years to establish yourself very well-roundedly and get a quality understanding of the right direction to take with this game specifically. And
Right.
now the next 2 years is more or less for expansion and making this game as immersive as possible.
Right, you got it.
Gotcha. Well, that's exciting to hear. And what I'm curious about now is, I mean, because up until this week or prior to this week, I've never known anything really else about you guys, and it's it didn't necessarily pop a red flag in my head, but it more or less was just like, whoa, we got some big people. It seems as if coming into the space for HBAR, and one that's going to allow whoever decides to join from your guys' journey into your journey through hedera. It's going to bring just a lot more exposure over into the hedera sides of things, which is overall a win. I'm just curious about now just the years to come, moving forward. What are the steps? I mean, it seems as if, I mean, we're only talking to you at the moment, DG, but it seems as if you have a very wide variety of team members behind this, developing this out. Considering that it is free, though, but you also do have those passes. So I'm just curious what the next 2 to 3 years look like to sustain this project moving forward. Because I mean, it is self-funded, but there's got to be some sort of motive to more or less make your money back.
Right. Good question. Good question. This is something what all VCs want to ask nowadays, because Now everyone cares. Like this wouldn't have been the case if this was Bull Run and GameFi Summer, but
Yeah,
right now this is, everyone wants a project which makes money. They need revenue before the game is out. the D,
you're right.
the the DD is very, very, very strict. So to answer your question, basically, um, yeah, the min passes and stuff. This is mainly um, a community building exercise, like I said, but not everything else is. So I'll get to that. But before that, um, to the exposure we had, we brought the amount of community as well. We brought to Hedera ever since we started our community building exercise. So we started we have this several campaigns started in the mid of December, and ever since we started, we have onboarded around 30,000 plus wallets, Hedera wallets. New wallets are created on Hedera after we started our campaign, and this is a proven number and checked because we have an exclusive partnership with Blade Wallet, which is basically our main wallet provider. So they're the ones who are tracking all these, and not only so this is part of our airdrop as well as our marketing campaign which we have. So then we had in terms of the development over the next 2 years. So we hope to have our game released sometime towards the end of 2024. At least like an alpha version, something like that, beta or alpha version. So
Sure.
early game will be going out at that time, and till then, what's going to be happening? So our game economy was actually made by Mr. Philip Black. He's a renowned game economist. He has been part of several AAA games like Call of Duty Black Ops, and even part of his last job was at Amazon Games. Amazon has a gaming division, and yeah, so he was the one who designed our game economy, and we made like a sustainable game economy along with with things actually in place for that. We have these revenue models which can start even before the game is actually launched, because that's the main concern nowadays. How does this project make money apart from NFT drops? We have drops. We have, so apart from the Deviants, we have Orion's Realm, which is land. Then we have Sentinels, which are like the DAO heads, and several other stuff. But the way how Astronoa mainly monetizes is basically, apart from the game, before the game starts, is mainly from battle passes. So we have a battle pass system where there's several other stuff which I'm not going too much in detail, but battle pass basically there is a time. I mean, every 1.5 or 2 months, battle pass will be dropped, and there will be certain rewards and XPs and codex and stuff where users can see their player profile. So the game begins before the game. That's the motto that we follow, and this way, if everything goes well and our plan actually succeeds, we'll be having somewhere around 75 to $100,000 made every 1.5 to 2 months. So this is the kind of revenue we'll have, and that's going to be very much tied with the game lore, which will be explained. So before the game actually launches, the users will have pretty much a good grasp of what's going on, but at the same time, not too much so that it doesn't kill the thrill of playing the game. And as any MMORPG starts off as, even ours will be starting off as a RPG game, because it helps the user understand what this environment, the story and stuff is. And towards maybe the third or fourth season, I'll be continuing as a MMORPG. This is the same style which games like even Final Fantasy approaches. So this, we're not trying to reinvent anything. It's just that our method is more a mix of bringing the Web 2 successful subscription, I mean battle pass model, onto Web 3 and making that actually the standard. So you can call us more like Web 2 guys in terms of the gaming side, coming to Web3 and trying to make a root over here.
Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. So just from the battle passes, you think you'll make over $100,000 per month, month and a half, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months, yeah. Because if you have a proper community to actually buy, where they're incentivized to buy these kind of things, yes, you can. But this all depends on how successful. So you understand now why we're doing. It's kind of like a big bet we did with the Deviants, which starts off this entire process. So this is how we begin our game, and slowly, bit by bit, we'll be rolling these things out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and you guys are smart to launch on HBAR too, because if your game like really starts to blow up, I feel like you guys can really harness the power of what HBAR can do,
They have
and then that way there's no bottlenecks with the Web3 side of your game.
absolutely, you got that right. They even have Ubisoft as partner, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, not us. Ubisoft is a partner.
It's
I mean,
part- yeah.
with
Governing
Hedera,
council.
right? So
Yeah.
we requested at one point, like once after this thing is sorted, for us to have. The only thing is they take a lot of time to respond. So we're looking forward to that. And we do have some great partnerships as well, which we have secured in the past, like NVIDIA. We're part of their Inception program, and we're also part of Microsoft Founders Hub. So these all have given us good grants and good benefits in various different ways. Some of them in not exactly as investments, more like as technical things. Like NVIDIA has their Omniverse software, which can be used to develop a lot of environments and stuff. And they also have this a lot of credits for AWS, their VMs. Like one of the main VMs that we are using to render all these stuff, it might take a usual PC maybe 10 days or 10 hours to mint. I mean, not mint, to render. This will take us just like 10 minutes or 1 minute and a half. So it's very cool benefits that they have provided us. I'm really thankful for that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's just, it all seems, honest to God, it's hard for me to really grasp it all, just because it all seems really very structured, but damn near too good to be true.
I get
Because
it.
I mean, we've never seen, in my personal eyes, I mean, there has yet to be a big, just really, really big influential people coming together to more or less create something that has yet to be done on this scale on Hedera. I mean, we have a lot of very small, talented builders who build on their own and collaborate as a whole, like you were talking about in the beginning, with just how Hedera is such a small, tight-knit community. We all work very well-rounded together, but we don't have really any big names that are coming into HBAR to necessarily build something to this scale.
Right.
Yeah, well, we've been saying it for a while. It all it takes is one giant project to hop over to HBAR before people are like, "Wait, what's HBAR?"
Yeah.
I mean, this exactly goes back to what I said. So the moment HBAR was dipping their toes into GameFi, that's exactly the moment that we have gotten into it. So we got in at the right time, and we've been getting good support and stuff. So be good. Even in terms of like the incubation thing, like I just remembered like one of my founder already spilled the beans in the last two AMAs or something, so that won't make any difference. Basically, we this is like in terms of the credibility and stuff, we got again short. I mean, we got shortlisted for Brink Animoca, which is their incubation program. So we're like on their second round of selection as well. So earlier we had last year, but last year's program was mainly like It was a specific program where Animoca was doing it especially for their sandbox. They wanted a game which worked well with sandbox. At that time, we made it to the last round, but then we didn't make the cut because ultimately it was a decision of voxel versus our Unreal Engine 5 game. So it didn't work out. But this time, however, this program is completely independent of sandbox. It's still Brink and Animoca, but yeah, we're on the second round, and we do believe that we can crack this time. It's not no. I mean, this is our second time as well, so we know that.
Yeah, second time's a charm.
Second time charm.
Yeah.
So this is, about the visibility and stuff. Yes, as I said before, we've been building it really quiet. It was bootstrapped. Me and my other founder, we've been bootstrapping it this until even the mid of last month. Only even Hedera was giving out grants that we started. Actually stop bootstrapping it because now we start having
Start to
other fun.
capitalize.
Exactly. So until then, we were kind of like building in stealth mode, I guess, but not exactly stealth mode. But yeah, you can say it in a way. And only recently I've been going super much into AMAs and all these things. I was mainly into talking with new investors on a daily basis. That was my role and job at that or before the start of the year.
That's what you said right when you hopped on the call. You said this is quite a little bit of a different type of conversation. I'm used to talking to these venture capitalists and stuff.
Right. It has greatly shifted. So I know, and it's a good thing. Like it's fun.
Of course.
Over there, it's like 5-minute elevator pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On to the next
A lot
chapter.
less stressful here.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my journey, and I hope you guys liked what I had to share.
Of course, yeah. Appreciate your time, and it seems as if by the end of the 2024, the Deviants game will be in its full, not necessarily full evolvement, or fullest evolution, but it'd be at a scale where it's actually playable.
So a small correction in that the Deviants game actually is dropping out towards the end of this year. It's a mini game. The Deviants are an IP of its own. They're kind of like the Avengers in the Marvel universe. The Marvel universe is Astronova. So
Gotcha.
these guys have their own mini game, which will be launched somewhere towards the end of this year. Most likely, it'll be a mobile game. We were thinking of something like Clash of Clans. Nothing is set in stone, so I don't want this to be like another, like an announcement or anything. It's something we still are thinking because our main game is obviously Astronova, and that's where we will be focusing our resources, also our attention. But at the same time, we want to have a small, fun game for our Deviant holders, and that is something we plan to do it towards the end of this year.
Well, that clears up a lot.
Okay. Yeah. So if you did want to do that, I assume there wouldn't be able to be real like NFT integration with that because of how restrictive Apple is with their ecosystem.
Yep, probably that. Yep. We haven't completely gone into it because we do have like around 7 indie game studios which we are partnered with. This is one of the first things that we did when we started off as. So most likely while Astronova is done in-house and with our main game studios, the Deviants will most likely be outsourced to one of our partnered studios too, because it's a major undertaking taking another game, making sure everything works. So something of that sort will be going ahead. So yeah, like as you said, Apple, the Apple and NFT thing. So yeah, that's a major drawback. We might be having to address that or find a solution somehow. Thanks for bringing that up, man.
Yeah.
I have something else to talk when I have to talk to our lead game developer.
Yeah, or you could just release it on Android because, Google, I feel like, is a lot more friendly when it comes to that. They're kind of dabbling their toes in all kinds of different
Google was going
stuff
crazy,
too.
yeah. I mean, we used to hear some crazy stuff about them. I think they're really mad at the the Chat GPT stuff, and people overtaking them on AI. But yeah, we never know what they have in store. They always are 2 steps ahead from what the industry is building.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think they bought actually a controlling share of ChatGPT as well recently. Speaking of,
Nice. See? There you go. So
Well,
yeah.
DG, if there's anything else that you'd like to end on, speaking on regards towards the Deviants and Astronova, I think we've cleared up a lot of great questions that have been asked through our community as well as a lot of our supporters. And I mean, a lot of my personal questions have been answered as well on this podcast. So, I mean, I just want to thank you for that. But if there's anything else you'd like to end on, by all means.
So, guys, I think I'm not sure when this podcast is gonna get uploaded and stuff, but then there is that mint coming up tomorrow. So if you guys are there, do check it out. It's a whitelist only mint for the first day, so only if you're whitelisted you can come, and it's basically a free mint. So if you have the chance, do make sure that you can join that. And if you guys are a Hedera project, then more than happy to have you on board. So that's pretty much it. And thank you, Tate and Mate, for I didn't get your name, Rudont.
Yeah, or Corbin, either one.
Okay.
Most people know me by Rudont, so I just leave it as that.
Gotcha. So thank you, Tate and Rudont, for having me here, and hope you guys have a great time, and speak to you guys soon.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
Sounds good.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, this has been the Alt Kings podcast, and we will see you all next episode. Peace.
Bye-bye.